Welcome everyone to this round 4 game of the Men's Supa-Liga for the summer season.
Is it home?
Tonight we have a big matchup between the West Coast Cobras and Furia Futsal Club. These two teams are both coming off losses last week. The West Coast Cobras went down in a shock loss to Perth United last week, which no one saw coming, and Furia went down against Cobras, who were clinical. Furia did score the first goal on that one, but in the end fell short by quite a bit, and they'll be coming out hard tonight. As play starts, we will get going through the team lineups for the evening. We have in goals, we have Jaden Ashmore, number 99, but currently in goals we have Tom Robles, number 1. We have Lockie Ryan, number 36, Jake Pizzuto, number 4, Dexter Hard, 33, Zephyr McPherson, 2, Claudia Cruz, number 3, Noah Lummett, 19, Mohamed Tatonchi, 13, Marco Florenka, number 8. As that ball gets through to Lummett, a couple nice step overs, gets it back out to Pizzuto as they reset. Julian Milamarchi as I continue, number 15. Joshua DeCane, 24. As that finds Pizzuto from hard. Lummett onto it. We have Clay Burnett, 35, and Kayan Lim, number 34. That rounds out the Cobras for the evening. And for the Furia lineup, we have Tia Ayung, number 40. Rowan Steed, 9. Noah Shamaki, 24. Fortune Aniyi, number 26. Sam Kamanidi, number 2. Danish Tawfiq, 19. Nixon Dindoyal, number 10. Anas Mahmood, 18. And Ollie Watts, 50. Rounding out both lineups for the evening, the West Coast Cobras and the Furia Futsal Club have a history of some close games. They've had 2 finals in recent seasons. Both go to penalty shootouts, the Cobras getting the better in both. So we would expect this. There's every chance that it could be a close one, and it would be for good viewing if that was the case. Here's Pizzuto. Off to Lummett. Pizzuto. Cruz. Cuts it back and board and finds Pizzuto on the broadcast end. Now might have a shot. He does have a shot and can't find the bottom corner there. Well saved by Ayung. Corner will be taken by Claudio Cruz. He's hard. And that one sails into the heavens. And Furia will restart. Here comes Furia with some good ball movement here. Good tight contest. And it's going to go into touch. Kamanidi was involved there. Here is Lummett to Cruz. Looked at Pizzuto, but covered by Tawfiq. It would have been dangerous going there. Here's Lummett out to Pizzuto. Good pass into Hard. Pizzuto still running. Hard finds Pizzuto. No, he doesn't. He finds Cruz. And great save by Ayung. Brilliant play by the Cobras. Pizzuto left it and Cruz pounced onto it. And that was going in, if not for that left hand of Ayung. Here is Pizzuto again. That's a deflection off Nadasan. And it will be a corner for the Cobras. Similarly to the Cobras game last week, they're controlling the early phases of the game. But last week, as Hard gets a shot off last week, they weren't able to finish. And United end up stealing the win. They played very well defensively, United. As that ball goes into touch off of Noah Lummett. Kamanidi inboard to the target there. Here's Nadasan. Back out to Tawfiq, well defended by Lummett. Ball brought in to Kamanidi. Nadasan tried to find Kamanidi, but just wayward, and they can't keep it in there, Furia. Lummett, hard, couldn't get it to Pizzuto, well defended by Nadasan. Here is Kamanidi. That ball was for Steed, but didn't get to him. Hard wins it. Lummett. Cruz. May have a shot here. He does, but straight into Ayung. Saved it comfortably. Kamanidi clears. And Robles, I believe it may be his first minutes for the season. Jaden Ashmore has played the majority at least. So good to see Tom Robles back out there. Here's Pizzuto as Mohamed Mo Tatonchi has now been substituted on. There is Lummett. Can't get it to McPherson. Here is Nadasan in defence. Good ball through, finds Steed. Defended by Lummett, and Tatonchi comes in, cleans it up. Robles out to Pizzuto. Takes it down the line, gets it to McPherson. Can he turn around Nadasan? Defence is strong. There's McPherson on his left, can't finish. A lot of communication by the Cobras. Trying to not allow any gaps in the middle of this court. There's Nadasan. High press by the Cobras. Tatonchi is beaten down the line. Here's a chance. Tawfiq into Steed. Caminiti. And the shot off by Steed in the end, not good. But that was a big opportunity. Almost beat the Cobras' defence there.
I heard the touch from here, mate. You're too far away, bro. Free.
Here's Pizzuto. Tatonchi. Loses control but regains possession, and Pizzuto will end up with it. McPherson out to Tatonchi. Lummett cuts it inboard. He's had two defenders there, so chooses Tatonchi instead. And that ball just wide by Tatonchi, couldn't find McPherson, and Furia will regain possession. The first goal is so crucial for whoever gets it tonight. It'll be big for momentum. There's Tawfiq, Nadasan. Can't find Steed, and Robles will take. Here's Lummett. Cuts it inboard. Out to McPherson. Pizzuto. Lummett. Pizzuto and Lummett move the ball back and forth with each other. Lummett now patiently finds McPherson now. Bit of physicality there. That's your strong futsal, and in the end, Caminiti comes in and clears. Chance there for Tatonchi, blocked. Tatonchi, ball in the middle. Well defended in the end by Furia, as Steed now has it. But the Cobras rush back onto defence and get back well. Caminiti. All the way back to Nadasan, who finds Steed, whose touch betrays him, and now Robles will retake. Reset for the Cobras, that is. And now to Tatonchi and Pizzuto. Lummett now has McPherson, but just wide on that ball. Idea was there, the execution wasn't quite. There's Nadasan, can't quite beat McPherson's head, but he'll keep possession. As it looks like Fortuna Ni has now come on. Nadasan and Caminiti can't quite control it. Here's Florenka, Marco Florenka now substituted on. Here's Tatonchi. Tatonchi cuts to the outside, just keeps it in, but the touch wasn't the best, and in the end he loses it. Tawfiq loses it. Here's Jake Pizzuto, tries to cut. In the end he'll reset. McPherson, Florenka. Patiently finds Pizzuto. Back to Florenka, back to Pizzuto. Here's Tatonchi, Pizzuto making a back post run. That ball intended was for him, but well defended. May have been Nadasan getting the block in there. And Florenka will take now. And it newly substituted on now for the Cobras is Milimarchi. Julian Milimarchi. Here's Florenka. Florenka, nice move, but Nadasan up to the task. Furia have defended well. They've been defending for most of this game so far. That's a long ball to Pizzuto, but Tawfiq was there, getting in the way with his head, and Pizzuto will retake. 13 minutes remaining, still no one scored. Whilst they have control possession, similar to last week, the Cobras haven't had a lot of actual gilt-edged opportunities. They haven't had a lot of chances, good shots coming off. It's been a lot of passing, a lot of movement. But we'll see the statistics later. I don't know how many good shots on target they've had as the timeout is now called. And we will go into this break, still no scores, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Welcome back from the timeout as we now restart here. 13 minutes remaining. Here's Caminiti. Can't find a knee, and the Cobras will retake. Florenka finds Pizzuto, whose touch isn't the best there, but in the end does well to get it to Ryan, who's now on. Florenka. Pizzuto ends up with Ryan here. Milamachi out to Pizzuto. Florenka making a good run, but Ryan's there. Ryan's dangerous. He should finish that. And he had a big space on the left there, but it went straight to Ayung, who looks worse for wear. Maybe a bit winded. As Robles now restarts and play will be halted just for a moment. Just a momentary pause after that ball straight into the breadbasket of Ayung. Never a nice feeling that. As here's Florenka, Pizzuto. They've been strong, solid in defence so far, Furia. Done well to prevent some chances. Florenka, can he beat his man a knee? He can't. It's well defended. And it's going to be a keeper's ball, so well done by Fortune and E there. Winning that contest. Ayung intercepted by Pizzuto, and the boot of a knee stopping that Florenka ball, which would have been dangerous. Here's a chance, and Robles acrobatically dives. Not needed in the end. Shamaki was involved there as well. But it did look good though. Pizzuto. Florenka finds Ryan. Milamachi. Pizzuto tried to find Ryan at that back post, didn't get through. Milamachi, they'll reset here. Florenka finds the back post almost, but well done by Ayung coming out, cutting the angle there and clearing. Milamachi, that was at the back post, and if it had got past Ayung, probably a certain goal. Lummets. Milamachi. Here's Ryan. Decides against shooting. They'll reset. They've been doing a lot of this, the Cobras. They've always been good with their ball movement. As this one's turned over, here's Steed, but Lummett does well. Steed still going, Milamachi recovers. And here's Ryan, steadying the ship. Intensity's gone up a notch in this last few minutes. That ball from Ryan can't get through Caminiti. Bring it in. Here is Cruz off to Ryan, and they'll reset through Lummett. Cruz, Milamachi, defended by Aniyi, a few step overs, ends up going to Lummett. Lummett will get it back here. There's Ryan, this is dangerous, but couldn't get through Caminiti. Well done again by the defence. Shamaki gets it out to Aniyi. Aniyi defended well. That'll be a foul on Milamachi. Just got there late. No complaints there, and Furia will take. Caminiti to Nadasan. That ball doesn't get through, but Caminiti now has it, and that would have given them the lead. Lummett, it was a great save by Robles. Lummett, great balled it through to Cruz. And they'll start over, all the way back to Ryan. Now the Cobras, building nicely here. Can they find someone? Caminiti defending, and that shot was never going to trouble anyone. I don't know if there was a bit of a deflection there. It doesn't look like it. It'll be a Furia ball. That ball goes long. Can Nadasan keep it in? He can't. As Anas Mahmoud comes on. Here is Cruz. Does well to hold it up, but that's dangerous though, that ball. Here's an opportunity for Furia. Steed loses it though. And the newly substituted on Decane. Taking Nadasan on. Cutting in board, turned it over. Here's Steed. Decane got back well. Cruz may just opt to clear this. He doesn't, he finds Hard. Hard. Lummett. Cruz. Defended tightly. Cruz can't get it through Caminiti. Hard to get a shot off on that left. Couldn't finish. Looks like there was a deflection in there. And Cruz will retake. And we may see a repeat of that player. Maybe another Dexter Hard shot. He scored a goal from here in a similar spot earlier this season when they played. And that ball goes high. But he did score a couple of goals. He scored a lot of goals this season, Hard. Last week was a bit more quiet, but the first 2 rounds he was in the team of the week both rounds, and he was player of the round once. Here's a chance, and Robles up to the task. But it was the Condors that Hard did score that goal against. Condors coming off just falling short last night in what was a really close game against Longabata. Here comes Lummett. That's dangerous, and Nadasan gets a foot in. But no crisis for the Cobras. They avoid that. Here is Decane. Good ball to Hard. Back to Decane, but Nadasan in there and cleared by Caminiti. Cruz. Hard calling for it, and he almost got that. But Nadasan been strong in defence all game. And he might just need to clear that one. He does. Avoids the corner. And now with 8 minutes to go, there's still no score in this game. Hard might have another shot here. He won't. He'll steady. He'll go out to Noah Lummett. Hard. Defended tightly by Mahmoud and gets a shot off an Ayung. Fairly comfortable save, but did well. Batted it away. Cruz will retake now, this time from a corner. And now Hard almost finds that bottom right. Ayung leaves it in the end, and Furia will retake. He's always strong, Ayung in goals. Last week was always a challenge. You're always going to struggle. Anyone would struggle against a team like Cumbre, especially having Cumbre after them coming off a loss. They were always going to come out hard. And here's Robles. It's been a tight game so far. Just an unbelievable amount of possession by the Cobras so far. Here's hard, Pizzuto. And that one's wide, long and high and right. But so much possession so far for the Cobras for no reward. Currently looking around 70% to about 30, with the pass count looking similar to the possession count in terms of the dominance. As Tatonchi comes on. Lummett back to Tatonchi, now Pizzuto on the broadcast end. Here Pizzuto sizing up, decides to retreat, finds Lummett. Here is Tatonchi, hard, defended tightly, here's a shot, and can't find the goal there. Ayung knew that was missing, comfortably left it. That's a long ball, and won't trouble the Cobras' defence on this occasion. Here's Lummett, cuts two defenders, cuts Shamaki and Tawfiq in half. Here's Pizzuto now, opportunity, finds Lummett. Can he beat Caminiti? He gets a shot off and finishes. What a finish. The little move on Caminiti and finds just under that crossbar. Noah Lummett with a beautiful finish to open the scoring tonight. And just like that, the Cobras are on the board.
Noah, make sure you get a hold of that freaking ball. Let's go and attack, man.
Tawfiq. Furia will look to score another one. Because you don't want the Cobras to get out to a lead, because when they do play with that confidence, they can score and they can score quickly. So if Furia can get that next one, and it may rely on a counter-attack goal with the way that this game has been played out so far. They really need it. There's Pizzuto, off to Feek. Caminiti touched it, and it's going to be a second touch. Pass back on that occasion, and it's going to be a Cobras ball. Timeout called, and the Cobras will take a 1-goal lead into this timeout. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. We resume from the timeout with a shot here for Florenka. No, Pizzuto goes back to hard, and well saved by Ayung. Well done by Furia to thwart that off after that backwards pass caught by Ayung. Pizzuto turned over almost. It was well done by Shamaki, getting a foot in. Well done by Tatonchi. Nice little bit of skill there. As that ball can't get past Shamaki from Florenka. Shamaki turns it over. Here comes Tatonchi, looking for Florenka, can't find him. Ayung now goes long And Robles will now retake. Here comes Pizzuto. Hard. To Florenka. Maybe turned over here. He keeps it though. He does well. Hard. Similar. Does well again. Here's to Tonchi. Gets it out to Pizzuto. Here's Florenka. Tried to cut it in board, but Shimaki up to the task, but can't keep it in. He was chasing the ball, and it looks like when he realized it was out of reach, he said it wasn't off him. But it's going to be a Cobras ball. It's going to be hard. He has Florenka and Pizzuto looming. Here's Florenka. Jake Pizzuto, too hard. Goes to Florenka, can't get through. Shimaki solid in defense again there, Noah Shimaki. Here's Pizzuto, and straight into the hands of Ayung. Tafik does well to get it out to Shimaki. Back to Tafik, but just behind him. They'll lose possession with 5 minutes left in this first half. It's really a battle of the possession versus counter-attack in this game, and it has been for most of it. We haven't seen much Furia ball movement in defense. The Cobras haven't allowed that so far. As Lummett keeps it in, goes down, and the foul's called on Shimaki. It's always good with his footwork, Noah Lummett. And he was good there as well. They'll keep possession, the Cobras. And Tatonchi will take from where the foul was made. Pizzuto. Bit of a hesitation there, goes out to McPherson. McPherson to Tatonchi. Back to Pizzuto. Now out to Tatonchi, and once again, Sashel and Nadasan strong in defense. Tatonchi. Can he get it through? He can. Here's McPherson. Retreats to Lummett. Pizzuto. As they will slow it down here, the Cobras almost out there, but stays in. Here's Lummett again. Has two defenders. Can he get it through? He almost can, but just too much on it, and Ayung will result with the ball. That's a long, good ball for Caminiti, but Tatonchi shows his experience and blocks that. Doesn't allow. I think it was Caminiti who was chasing. As now Lummett resumes, tries maybe to go inboard to Pizzuto. Now he'll retreat to Pizzuto. Now Furia are trying to stop that ball movement there, playing a bit higher in defense. But the Cobras do well now to push them back. As that ball looks like it's going to be a goal throw. It looks like the newly substituted on Kayan Lim comes on for the Cobras for his first minutes in this game. It looks like he will get it here. Pizzuto. And there it is. He goes to him. Here's Lim. Out to Lummett. Finds McPherson. Cobras moving the ball across the centre of the court well throughout this game. Lummett. Lim. Looked at McPherson, chooses Lummett instead. Defended by Aniyi. Lummett does well. Here's Pizzuto. He's got a bit of a lane. Chooses to go to Lim. And they're really taking their time, the Cobras. They want to get a good shot off, and that one wasn't it. Not enough on that from McPherson. And to trouble a keeper like Ayung, you'll need a lot more than that. As the Cobras start to move again. Here's Lummett. Pizzuto. Gives it off to Lummett. Here's Lim. Off to McPherson. McPherson down the line. Too much on that ball though. And well done by Ayung. That long ball won't find anyone. Sails over a knee. And Easy for Robles now to take. Lim. Here's McPherson, just keeps it in well as Ryan comes back on for the Cobras. McPherson out to Lim. Good attempt there, just couldn't quite get it past a knee who did well in defence. But it has been a lot of the same throughout this game. It's been a lot of Cobra possession, as I mentioned a few times, and unable to get a lot of good opportunities off. There's Ryan finding McPherson. McPherson just loses his touch, recovers, does well to get it back out to Ryan. Here's Ryan, might have a shot. On target, well saved by Ayung, and this might be finished. Almost through the legs off Lummett. But Ayung did well to hold up there. Had to make 2 saves consecutively. Yatia Ayung. And when there's a 1-goal lead in the game, you're never quite safe because all it will take is a quick counter for Furia. And just like that, the lead is gone despite all that possession and all those opportunities. Here is Steed, and that might go in, no, across the face. And just as I was saying that, that's all it takes, a quick turnover, and Furia almost capitalised. Probably a bit too much on the touch from Steed. And McPherson, can he keep that in? He does, but Caminiti does well, and Caminiti wins the ball for his team. Wanted the foul. It doesn't matter because they're now bringing the ball down the flank through a knee. A knee goes down. Looks like it will be a Cobras ball. Around the middle of the court, and Hard is now on. Lummett, back post, finds Ryan, and what a finish. Furia defense not happy, and that ball was brilliant. They do that so often, the Cobras, finding that back post, and it was a perfect ball, and not a very difficult finish in the end for Lachlan Ryan. As the goal difference is now 2. Bit of discussion between the referee and the Furia coach.
Can you tell me who's not a foul? What did he say?
We've made a decision.
As the game is back on. Here comes Steed. Ended up being a ball from a knee. Well defended by Lummett. Bit of acrobatics there. As Cruz puts a lot of pressure on Mahmood. And Furia will win possession. Here's Mahmood. Long ball, but too long. And Robles will take. Robles hasn't had a whole lot of work to do in this one. He did have that big dive early, but not too many shots on target throughout this game, especially for Furia. Here comes Hard. Nice feint on Mahmood, but Mahmood up to the task. And Lummett leaves it. Bit of Was there a deflection? Doesn't appear to be.
Tuck in, boys, tuck in.
As with 41 seconds to go, here's Ryan. Does brilliantly, if that was intended, to end up finding Cruz. As now Lummett, that's a turnover. Here's a chance for a knee, but he couldn't control it. Golden opportunity there. Another turnover, Steed. Couldn't get it to a knee. And now they'll win at the Cobras on the counter. Here comes Lummett, out to Hard. Slows it down, he has Ryan. Chooses not to go there, goes to Lummett instead. And we'll reset now here, the Cobras. Ryan, out to Cruz. But well done there by the defence of Ani. And the shot does go off, but to no avail for Dexter Hard. Frustration from Coach John Goodlich. Wanted a shot to get off. They did get it off, but it wasn't the one he was after. And that will do us for the first half, folks. A 2-0 lead going into the first half break. for the West Coast Cobras. We'll be back in just a few minutes to see if Furia can make a comeback or the Cobras can extend this lead.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week, Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
And we're back for the second half of this one. Currently a 2-0 lead. I'd say it's been an exciting first half. A few opportunities either way. Not a whole lot of amazing chances though. The Cobras have controlled a lot of possession, and as you can see, the press straight away, and it looks like just like the first half, they will start to possess the ball again in this one. Here is Cruz. Out to Florenka, back to Cruz. And they go between each other a bit. Beautiful move by Tatonchi, but can't quite keep it in. Beat Shimaki, but couldn't keep it in the end. Here is Shimaki. Shot goes off and a great save by Robles. The first big save required by the Cobras, and Robles is down. Robles looks to be okay. We'll see a corner for Furia. Here's Steed, defended by Tatonchi, and couldn't quite find his teammate Shimaki there. Tatonchi. Out to Florenka. And now Tatonchi will build again. You can see how well drilled these Cobras are. They know where everyone is at every time. He is hard. Out to his man in Florenka, and the shot was good, but a Jung saved strongly. Long ball. Shimaki doing well. Beats two. Steed cuts it in board, but too many Cobra numbers are there for that to trouble the defense. Here is Tatonchi. Out to Cruz, had hard, chooses to go himself, and well done by Fortune and E there. Rolling foul called against the Cobras, but it will be a Cobras ball last off a knee.
Hey Dexter, you can show.
As hard will take. This Cruz gets a shot off.
Right, let's knock up. Let's knock
And
up.
wide right on that one.
Yep. Follow.
Long ball intercepted by Florenka. Hard was involved. Now is Cruz to Tonchi. Now Cruz can take off. Decides against it. Patiently finds Florenka. Dangerous, but great spin on Steed. Here's Florenka, cuts it back in board. Now he's got Tatonchi, and somehow Ayung was there. Looked like a certain goal at the back post. But great save, and Cruz sensed that Ayung was out of goals and almost found the back of the net. Great heads-up play from Claudio Cruz as Florenka gets the forced turnover there. Here is Tatonchi, out to Cruz. Here's hard. Gets it to Cruz. Can he turn around and get a shot off? He tried to get it to hard. Can't. But now Cruz would have found the back post, but great save by Ayung, and he loves it. And here comes Steed, but well defended by Tatonchi. Here's a knee. Furia now have a bit of possession in their attacking half. Good ball. A knee. Tatonchi there to save the day. That was Shimaki. My apologies. Here comes Florenka down the line, beats Steed. He's got Pizzuto at the back post. He also has Hard. He chooses Hard. Hard tried to get it to Pizzuto, couldn't, and well cleared by Shimaki by a knee. Cobras, what can they build from this play in a dangerous position? Here is Hard. Nice feint. Moves it back. Florenka, Pizzuto back to Hard. Here comes Tatonchi. Tatonchi tries to beat the defender, but Shimaki did well in the end. He held his space well and wins possession for his team. Here comes Steed. Well done by Florenka. Steed out to Caminiti. Here's Shimaki, gets a shot off, but well defended. We have a comment saying 6-1 Cobras. We always love comments. Engagement. 2-0. We'll find out soon if that does come to fruition. But here's a chance. And that was almost the one for Furia there. And he couldn't quite get it past Robles. And that long ball by Hard, good idea. Couldn't quite find his teammate running long. Good idea though. couldn't quite get it to Clay Burnite, which I might be wrong, but this may be his first minutes of the game. Let's see if he can come on and have an early impact. He comes on, plays strong defense there, well done. Here's Shamaki, defended by 2 Cobras. And Shamaki will retain possession. Kamanidi, retake, looks like the ball must have been moving. As Burnite has it in defence. Florenka finds Pizzuto, who comes back on that run. Can't get it through to Florenka, turns it over. But Mahmoud can't do much with that, but he'll keep possession for his team. Kamanidi. Out to Anii. Gets it to Kamanidi, dangerous. Here's Lumet, he may finish. He's always good with his footwork, cuts it to the outside, probably a bit too much on that touch. But now he's got Pizzuto. This could be a shot. But he finds Lumet. Oh, first touch, great shot. Great shot, it was worth it. But it was always going to be tough to beat. I think there was about 3 defenders in the way there, and Ayung. Pizzuto may have a shot here, but blocked by Mahmoud. Bit of discussion. Referee Tyner Campos and a bunch of players as we resume play. Here's Burnite, finds Lumet. Shots blocked. Here's a big one-on-one contest to win. It's won by Shamaki. He slows it down. Mahmoud. Call for handball off Pizzuto. Not rewarded. Here's a knee. Tried to get it to Shamaki, but just out of his reach. Pizzuto. Out to Burnite. Pizzuto. Back to Burnite. What can you do here? Resets all the way back to Lumet. McPherson, long ball, but out of Pizzuto's reach that.
I've done it before.
Just high and wide. Kamanidi. Mahmoud. Finds Shamaki and his touch. So almost just betrayed him, but he keeps it in. Mahmoud, great save by Robles. Rolling foul is called. I believe it was on Lumet. And now Furia will take in a dangerous spot, and Nadasan is now on. That ball can't get through. Dangerously bobbling around, and Robles saves the day with a big dive. Here's Pizzuto. Burnite gets it through to McPherson, one-on-one with Nadasan. Now he's got Burnite. This could be a goal for him. Gets it to the back post, and Nadasan just stopping the tap-in of McPherson. Nadasan's been great in defence all game.
No, get involved. Stephanie, get involved. Fuck.
Here's Burnite. Big save, and McPherson can't get any boot on ball there, and Ayung ends up with it. Long ball, one-on-one. Won by Furia against Noah Lumet. That was Shamaki. Lumet. Kamanidi wins that well, beating Lumet. Here's Mahmoud. Nadasan. The intensity has gone up a notch. You can sense it as that ball trickles out into touch. Furia ball. As another 2 fouls called against the Cobras here, and they're early in this second half. A number of fouls called on the Cobras.
No, it's not. I'm having a chat.
There's a shot. Well saved by Robles. Ball bobbles around a bit. Pizzuto lets that roll through to Robles. Here's Ryan using his chest well, but cleared. As it seems like we have a timeout here. No goals to open this second half. Currently, the Cobras still on top of the game in most areas, and it's 2-0. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back from the timeout. 2-goal lead still for the Cobras as they take a, looks like it's a corner. Sideline ball, looks like a corner for Jake Pizzuto. Finds Noah Lummett, it was dangerous but he found him. Pizzuto hesitates. And now Lummett. Out to Milamachi.
Julian, you're too deep.
Pizzuto, Lummett. What can they do from this play? They're normally good coming out of a timeout, the Cobras. Will that continue? Here's Pizzuto. Tries to cut through 2 defenders. Almost did. He did well, but Steed ends up winning out. The captain, Rowan Steed. Here's Steed. Pizzuto wins that race, and Robles ends up cutting the angle and clearing that. Madison waiting. As is Caminiti and Steed. Nadasan gets the shot off. But you're always going to require a lot of luck to get through 4 defenders who are all in position. That shot gets through somehow! And Sam Caminiti brings it back within a goal, and I don't know how they got through everyone, just as I said that. And Furia now are right back into this game. Robles' view might have been blocked by the massive bodies in his way. And now all of a sudden, this game is back on.
No, you need to go forward.
Pizzuto. And you can expect an increase in intensity in this game all of a sudden. Furia will see if they can make it 2 in a minute. As I said earlier, they do have a history of close games. Here's Lummett. Got it to Ryan and probably should have finished that. But just got under it. But they have got a history of close games, these 2 teams. Can Furia equalise? That ball goes long. Straight over Mahmoud. Good ball by Pizzuto. Led Lummett onto the ball as Lummett retreats to Milamachi. That ball's just out of Pizzuto's reach, but he gets there and goes all the way back. Now he has Lummett. Milamachi progresses the ball, finds Pizzuto, who just manages to control it. He has Ryan at the back post, but again, well done by Nadasan, stopping another opportunity for Lachlan Ryan. Ryan finds Lummett, and he finds the bottom left. And a massive moment for the Cobras. They needed that.
This is going to get disallowed as well.
Bit of discussion. We'll hold off on saying that is 3-1 just for a moment. And it will be a free kick for Furia. The goal that would have given them a 2-goal lead has been disallowed.
5 fouls.
And that is the 5th foul with still almost 13 minutes left to go in this game. The Cobras will now be treading a fine line for the rest of this game, and they're going to really have to avoid that foul or Furia can equalise. A few rolling fouls early, and what a moment. That's brought them into 5 fouls and taken away a goal. So a big turning point in this one. Can the Cobras bounce back from that moment? Here comes Pizzuto. Almost lost that. Now finds Florenka. 1-1 with Steed. Gets it to Ryan. Turned over, but Ryan wins it back. 50-50 contest. Won by Furia, and now Steed has a chance to progress the ball for Furia.
Lucky, next one. Boys, watch the long ball. Cut the middle check. Cut the middle check.
Long ball, well done by Pizzuto. Can Ryan keep it in? He can, and he does well to get it. Almost to Florenka, but here's a chance to equalise. Mahmoud couldn't beat Robles. Here comes Pizzuto, cuts it back in board to Marco Florenka. Here's Pizzuto. 1-1 with Nadasan, and Nadasan wins. Nadasan wins that battle against Pizzuto there. Milamachi gets it to Ryan. Here's Pizzuto. Takes his time, gets it through Nadasan's legs. I think Ryan thought Pizzuto was still running, but he gets there anyway, and Ayung does well.
No foul.
Mahmoud
Follow right.
goes all the way back to Nadasan. Here's Steed. Steed runs Kamanidi. Mahmoud, good turn. He has Steed, and he almost probably should have went for that. It was the right move to turn to his inside with Ryan right on him. But in the end, the Cobras will retake now. It's Florenka. Milamachi, Pizzuto. They slowly build this one up, trying to build that buffer back to 3-1 like they thought they had earlier. And there's Ayung
Pick up quickly.
comfortably taking care of that
Follow Julian.
for a
Mark Julian.
block by Pizzuto. Steed will retake.
When we have possession, Julian. Boys, look to cut that pass. Look to cut that pass.
Will be Kamanidi, in fact. May go back to Nadasan, or will go long, and he finds Steed in acres of space. And well done by Milamachi. Pizzuto moving it through, can't find anyone.
Pick up the player. Julian, left shoulder. Our ball.
As it will be a Furia ball. Appears the ball by Pizzuto didn't catch any Furia players on the way through.
Mark, watch that ball to the pivot.
Steed.
Hold there.
Kamanidi. Can he get it to Shimaki? He can. Milamachi may have overcommitted there, and Pizzuto comes flying back. Gets the block. Now Robles resets for the Cobras. Milamachi. Pizzuto, dangerous. There's Florenka. He is hard. Tried to get it through to Florenka, can't. Well done by Furia. Standing up in defence as they have done all game.
Straight away. Well done, Julian. Shake, next one. Shake, next one.
Long ball. Can he find Shimaki? He can't. Just long and out of his reach. As Furia will retake. Here comes Decane. Now on to Tonchi, also now substituted on Florenka. Off to Decane, who brings it back. Not many players to go to though, but finds to Tonchi. Back to Decane. Florenka tries to bring it in board to hard. He does.
No foul.
Calls for a handball. And it's going to be a Furia ball. And it's going to be a yellow and a 10-metre penalty. Massive decision. It was always going to come to this, you would have thought, especially with 13 minutes remaining. And 5 fouls at such an early point in the game. And now Noah Shimaki can equalise. When it seemed like the Cobras were just about to kick away in this game. It was 2-0. They looked like they may have piled on a few more with the dominance they were having, but Noah Shimaki now to equalise. And he finishes! Beats Robles, and just like that, it's 2-2. And could we be in line for another Cobras upsets 2 weeks in a row? Furia coming off a massive defeat last week, bouncing back strongly. They're going to have to stand up, the Cobras, and they'll be thinking back to last week and thinking, surely not again. That ball, Wayward can't find hard.
Come on.
But I believe Furia, they haven't been in any close game this season. Most of the games they have struggled in and gone down convincingly. And when all of a sudden a team does get their heads up and they're in a game, they can be very hard to beat. And once again, these two teams are playing another great close game here. Could it be for Furia? Here's Shimaki. Can't find Kamanidi. On ball, here's Ayung. Nadasan, Shimaki loses it. And Florenka back to Totonchi. Shimaki does well. Forces the Cobras to reset. Here's Duquesne, dangerously, almost lost that. Totonchi tries to cut it out. Can he get past Aniyi? Bit of a jersey tug. And it will be called because Mo Totonchi was through there if that wasn't the hold. Totonchi will take. Here's Florenka, one-on-one with Nadasan. Does he take him on? No. Returns to Duquesne. Florenka tries to beat Nadasan now, but can't. Here is Duquesne getting back against Shimaki. Can he win it? He might lose it. This is dangerous. And a one-on-one battle with the keeper will not go ahead due to a big foul called. And the Furia bench are egregious. It would have been a one-on-one for Robles. But the Cobras survive. Here's Totonchi. Through to Hard off the deflection. As the Cobras will retain possession. Last touch off the off Furia.
Next one.
Or it's a foul instead. That's about 3 fouls in quick succession now for the Furia Futsal. After the Cobras had all the fouls early. Can Florenka, can Marco Florenka put his team in front, or can they size up a play here? He gives it off and almost somehow gets through. Lummett couldn't get anything on it, and Ayung up to the task. Long ball, keeper to keeper. Ayung to Robles. And Florenka will now build. On comes Cruz. One-on-one tussle. Here's Hard. No team can foul. No foul called. Both players went down. One-on-one contest. Here's Aniyi and Cruz. Aniyi does well to win it. And he's still going. And thumped into the crowd by Noah Lummett. There's Pizzuto screaming at his troops from the bench to not foul. A lot of physicality in a game where the Cobras probably can't afford that because the risk is so high. Long ball, can it get through? No. Florenka can't get to the one. I think it might be a Cobras ball, is it? It is. Pizzuto will take. Huge 7.5 minutes coming up. If the Cobras can manage to get this win, yes, Longabata won last night. That puts them equal on top. And obviously we've had some other games going on right now in Lakelands. But if the Cobras can win, they'll really put pressure on that top two. And Furia sitting bottom on the ladder with a negative 16 goal difference. And somehow, some way here, scores a level with just 7 minutes to go. And wouldn't Furia like a win here to push more towards the middle of that table? That ball sails long. But coming into the week, 3rd place versus 12th place. Yet there is nothing separating them now in this one. Caminiti taking his time. Here comes Nadasan, one-on-one with Pizzuto. Caminiti. Here is Caminiti, gets it through. And now they're going to have to somehow survive the Cobras for the next 2 minutes after Dexter Hard has been sent off. I believe he was on the court when he was not supposed to be. And now somehow the Cobras are going to have to hold off Furia. May have been dissent, in fact. Here comes Furia. But it's a big loss for the Cobras, and somehow the outstretched right hand of Robles saved that. Here goes Lummett. This is a chance. It's a 2-on-2 though, and Florenka gets there. They just have to hold on for another probably minute and a half. That big red card by Hard will impact them. He'll be out for coming week. Here goes Ani. Pizzuto playing that role of trying to defend the players in the middle with the lack of defender, and he will run, he will defend. Good movement by Furia. There's Shamaki to Nadasan. Can they get a shot off? Ani. Florenka there. May have got a bit of woodwork. Robles will clean up. Long ball. Can he find Lummett, or is it too long? Lummett does well. 1-on-1. And Shamaki gets back. The Cobras just need to hold on. This is where they want the ball. They want it down this end, especially with 3 men. They'll just obviously try and snag a goal, but really try and run as much time off the clock. That won't do it. Here's an opportunity for Shamaki. Gets a shot off, but Pizzuto with a block. Looks like we've got about 14 seconds remaining until the Cobras get their 5th man back out there, their 4th man on court. Here comes Nadasan. It looks like Lachlan Ryan or Claudio Cruz will be that man to come back on. Comes Robles. They've got about 6 seconds, so it looks like the Cobras may have survived. Pizzuto controls it well. Here's an opportunity, keeps it in. But there was no men back, and that's the penalty of having 1 man less, as now Lachlan Ryan comes on. The Cobras did survive. They defended well. Also having a few opportunities up in their attacking half for themselves. Here's a knee. Caminiti. Ryan now does well, and he beats 2 players, wants the foul. And it will be a Furia ball last off Ryan. Caminiti. Here is Mahmoud. Caminiti. Looked like he was looking for Steed there, but Steed wasn't in position. Ball wasn't also as good as it could have been. Comes Lummett. Just found Cruz. Ryan turns around and can't find the bottom corner. Looks like there was a deflection off Caminiti, and Cruz will take. Corner for the Cobras. Can they get that breakthrough? Pizzuto. Another deflection. Deflection this time off Rowan Steed, the captain. Pizzuto this time goes past him. Here's Lummett to Ryan. Back to Pizzuto. Now Lummett. Got a bit of space. 1-on-1 with Caminiti. Beats him inside. And Steed gets a boot in.
Corner again. Boys, let's look to use 2, yeah? Get active in the corner. Come on.
66% possession so far for the Cobras. They've had it for most of the game. And there's a chance. Lummett could have finished that, but just wide. Obviously, the possession has been influenced a little bit. I think the Cobras were in the 70s, but with that player going out with the red card, Furia did possess the ball a lot more in that last few minutes. Now, Cobras will get another opportunity here. Here is Lummett, finds Pizzuto, who comes back on his run, goes to Ryan. Can he beat Caminiti? Bit of a size mismatch there. Here's Pizzuto, gets it to Lockie Ryan. Out to Cruz. Ryan presenting, but he goes to Pizzuto. Into Ryan now, controls it well, turns it around on the right, and Caminiti with the block.
Again, let's make sure we're working
and the Cobras are just peppering away again, similarly to last week. Here comes Pizzuto. Here comes a chance, and Lockie Ryan! Just as I say that, Lachlan Ryan finishes and puts the Cobras in front. And 3-2 is the Cobras' lead. They didn't panic and brilliantly finished. We'll be back from the timeout in just a moment. Welcome back for the final few minutes of this game. And the Cobras had been looking for that all game, and they've finally now taken the lead back. As Furia will look to respond. Here is Steed. The chance that just goes long. The Cobras now move through defence. Steed does well to win it. And here's a chance to equalise for Mahmood. But the Cobras defence gets back. Nadasan got it to Steed, but Steed couldn't control it. And the Cobras still lead. Furia did such a good job getting back into this game. But then the Cobras somehow held on with that man down for 2 minutes. Here comes Florenka. Cuts it inside. Pizzuto. That's a turnover in a dangerous spot. Needed to be better than that there, Pizzuto. As the ball goes into touch. As he apologises. Here comes Cruz. Florenka. I'll keep possession. Florenka will take from the sideline. Back in from touch. Long ball by Florenka, doesn't hit anything, but Ryan was just out of his reach. Now Ayung, he has Kamanidi, Nadasan, Mahmood and Steed to choose from. He chooses Mahmood, but the head of Florenka in the way. There's Nadasan, finds Steed, nice move to the outside, beats Cruz, but Cruz gets back well, and Cruz comes out on top. He made us clear this one, but Nadasan gets involved. Nadasan will win possession for his team, last off Cruz. Kamanidi waiting in the wings. And here he is. Straight to Robles. Clean grab there. That long ball finds Ryan, does it. He did well, Ryan. Used his body well. Keeps it in. Can he score 2 in a few minutes?
Ball, corner.
Looks like he will lose that one, but it's going to be off Furia.
Marco, you can use your left foot. Shake, get active. Claudio, get involved.
What will this play be? It's going to be Cruz. Doesn't decide to shoot. Pizzuto, wide right. 2.5 minutes for Furia to equalise. As Marco Florenka uses his chest well there. Here's Ryan, beautiful ball to Florenka. This could be finished, but not.
Claudio.
And it looks like
Corner, sure.
Looks like it should be a corner off the deflection. Furia may have been asking for a penalty, potentially a handball or of some sort, but it looks like it'll be a corner. As Pizzuto gets anything on it, but whatever they were after. Any foul, Cobras still need to be so on song to not make a mistake. As Steed almost equalises. It's definitely been their best performance of the season so far, Furia, by a long, long way to stay in this game. As Ryan, one-on-one with Caminiti, turns it inboard, and this should finish it, but Lummett can't get it past Nadasan on the last line. Here is a shot from Shamaki, and once again, that goes long and high. Very high. And Roberts will take 1:58 to go. Long ball by Florenka. Dangerous though. Here's Shamaki to equalise. Cuts it past Pizzuto, and Florenka gets in the way. 1:48 to go, and all of a sudden now all the attacking is Furia. Caminiti. And that could have gone in. Dangerous ball into a dangerous spot. That could have gone anywhere. And they'll win a corner out of it. Cobra's not happy, but the Furia will get a corner. They will have an opportunity. Nadasan, Shamaki and Caminiti waiting. Who will it be? Nadasan, and that wasn't going to trouble the defense or the keeper. They probably needed to do better there, at least get a better shot off, at least make Robles work. As Caminiti comes flying in. Cobras now. Bit of a mix of wanting to take time off the clock, but putting one more goal past Ayung would seal this game, you would think. Here's Lummett, finds Pizzuto. No, he doesn't. Well done by Nadasan defensively. Nadasan gets it to Shamaki. Shamaki loses it, and it's going to be a Cobras ball. Have just a small halt in play here. Be back in just a moment. Just having some issues at the moment with the scoreboard. It's getting resolved. I'm sure it won't be too long. It's the scoreboard on the far flank. Not quite working at the moment. Still a 1-goal lead for the Cobras. Was the calm before the storm. A minute and a half to go, and I'm sure it'll be frantic, but right now just having a small break. Both teams get a chance for a breather. Looks like we will be resuming. Here we go. Ryan. 1 minute and just under 40 seconds left. Here comes Caminiti. Good ball to Steed. Can he get through Pizzuto and Ryan? No, he decides to go back to Caminiti. As Nadasan, I think he thought it's going to be a bit of a run from Shamaki towards the sideline. But there was no movement. And the Cobras now will build. Furia trying to play up high and not allow Cobras to waste any time. As you see Shamaki pressuring Lummett. Lummett will end up with it from Florenka. Here's Pizzuto. Florenka. They might just eat into this clock a little bit now. Unless a really good opportunity does present itself. There's no need for the Cobras to rush. Good ball to Ryan. And he'll just go back to Pizzuto and he'll take all the time that they need. Furia need to put pressure on if they want to have a chance.
Well done, Marco.
Florenka will have a chance here instead, though, and that may do it. And woodwork for Lockie Ryan.
Mark up, corner there, corner.
It'll be a corner.
Mark up. Oh, corner.
58 seconds remaining.
Noah, Marco, look to run a double block. Lucky, look to
There
use
must
a
have been a
double
deflection
block.
off that
Someone
Ryan
shooting.
shot before hitting the woodwork. And here is Ryan running a bit of clock off. Steed trying to get
Apple,
possession
apple
back.
again.
And he can't yet. You would think Furia will get an opportunity here. But it's just about the Cobras trying to take as much time off, and that won't take much off at all. And Furia will get their chance.
Lucky bounce.
Just over 50 seconds remaining. Here's Ayung to Caminiti.
Talk.
Nadan can't find Caminiti.
Get high.
Here's Ryan. Can he waste a bit more time? He can't. It's going to be a Caminiti ball.
Again,
Will he go
switch
back
on.
to Ung, or will he go forward?
Noah, step.
He goes
Hold that.
to Shamaki, or it might have been a knee. It was a knee. A knee. Can he get it to Mahmoud? He can. They made a few subs in this last 10 seconds. Furia, can it work? Here's Florenka. Mahmoud pressuring. Will a foul be called? It will be. Foul called. Florenka was the one to go down. And the Cobras will survive that bit of pressure put on by Furia.
Lucky, pick a side.
As you can see, there's under 30 seconds remaining, and the Cobras will just try and take a bit of time off. Lockie Ryan is good at doing that, but it didn't get to him. So can Caminiti make a push forward?
Boys, same height.
Here's a knee.
Bounce.
Caminiti. Long ball, can't get past Lummett, but it'll fall at the feet of Mahmoud.
Engage.
Caminiti can't get it through Ryan, and in comes the defender. It'll be a foul call. Ryan was the man to go down. And that will be 5 fouls now for Furia. Both teams on 5. That was Shamaki coming flying in. No complaints from him. And now Florenka will take. 13 seconds remaining. There's Lummett. They've got to put pressure on Furia to get one chance. Ryan to Lummett to finish it. But Ung comes through. Gets it through to Mahmoud. One last chance. There can't be long to go. A few seconds left. And Shamaki doesn't get a shot off. And the Cobras escape. A big scare. They've got a 3-2 win. And they avenged their loss from last week. A big bounce back. But Furia also put up a good performance. Thank you for watching this evening. Don't go anywhere. We'll be having a big game coming up between the Arkham Eagles and Perth United. So we'll be back in just a few moments.